Golden Ring Tournament in Calgary, Alberta. This morning's match will have the Aces taking on the Calgary South Extreme. Girls look to have a good warm-up here. Get ready for a big game. It's do or die now. We lose, we're coming home. And that's not an option here this morning. This morning's game being played at the East Calgary Twin Arenas. Only about 12 minutes away from our hotel, so it wasn't a bad drive. And we've played here a couple times. $18 minutes up on the board. Period one to begin shortly. Alex will be starting in goal for the Aces here this morning. Best and Beer on the back with Gooden, Krenbrink, and Wiebe to start. Whistle goes, and the Extreme fired in, and it gets bounced back out into the neutral zone. Gooden chases. The Extreme battling the sideboard. Wiebe with it now, advances in to the extreme end. Krenbrink follows up in the corner, goes behind the net, goes up front, nobody there, and the Extreme go back in the neutral zone, advance up into the middle to 16 from the Extreme. She gets a look, and it's a save. Quick one by the Extreme here as the line change happens into the neutral zone. Ring gets dumped in the corner with good chase by Shuchuk. Extreme come out with it. Shot missed. Aubuchon is there. Ring goes back. Calgary push. And Alex is there. She drops it behind the net to Shuchuk. Shuchuk cuts, goes up the middle, and sees Isla. Isla with double coverage. Ring gets stripped. And the Extreme put it back in the Aces zone, come up the middle. Backhand shot, misses the net. Extreme collect again, circle around, cut through the middle, back around. Shot on rebound, collected up by Shuchuk. Scrum in the middle. Charlotte Yip is there. She tries to advance, nobody there. Matt with it now. Extreme back to the neutral zone, advance the ring up, and QB is there. They're tied up in the back. Ring comes up in the neutral zone. Aces are able to clear their zone. Bray's with it, she puts it back in. Lots of traffic. Matt's there and is hauled down. Delayed penalty coming, and there's the whistle. Extreme will go to the box for a tripping. And the Aces will see their first power play with 15-24 to Yip. Yip cuts out, comes the middle, hits the brakes, she goes down. Whistle goes. That's going to be Extreme's ring. Extreme goaltender puts it out behind the net, and the Extreme bring it up into the neutral zone. That's turned over as Dennis gets it, and the Extreme launch it back down into the Aces zone. Quinn Bray is there. She picks it up and advances to Yip. Yip in the neutral zone. She goes corner to Dickin, and it's missed. It goes deep. And the Extreme collect. They advance it back into the neutral zone and pop it in at 10. 10 has it. She circles around the net. Bray is there watching. They send it out in the middle, and it is missed. Goes back into the neutral zone. Krenbrink with it now. She tries to spin around and put it up to Wiebe. Wiebe goes back to Krenbrink. She circles, double circles. Rory's there. She pushes hard. Heavy traffic in the middle, and Gooden has a poke. Goalie picks it up. Swatted back down by Gooden. She circles, shot on, and the Extreme goalie's there, puts it behind the net. Ring comes back up with the Extreme. Battle ensues. Wiebe with it. Goes to Krenbrink. As she just so pops it in. The Extreme back in the neutral zone. Extreme with it. Advance the ring. Penalty will be over. Shot wide. Back to even strength here. 13-21 in the first period. Krenbrink with it. Advances to Shewchuk. Shewchuk shot on. Big rebound. She collects her own rebound as she circles. Goes back to Spring. Spring with a shot. Big rebound. Ice in front of their net. Sorry, Extreme. Shewchuk is there. Heavy pressure as she clears it up. Just so they collect and look to send for a breakaway. Good hustle by Aubuchon. Yip is there too. Extreme. Cut to the front. Isla goes down. Extreme with it. Check by Yip. Goes to Aubuchon. And she looks to clear the zone and just does. Dick and Isla back up. Matt misses that as she charges in. Extreme go around the net and look to bring it up. Whistle goes, and that's going to be the Extreme's ring. 11:48 remains in the first period. 1-0. Calgary South Extreme. Ring gets moving. Extreme dumping into the Aces zone. QB is there. She's tag teamed. Ring comes out. Aces far end. Dennis is there. She pops it out off the skate into the neutral zone. Dickin loses that, and it comes back into the Aces zone. Quinn Bray hustles, gets to the ring first. Whistle goes. We have a hooking call coming. Around the Aces net. Ring lost and pushed out by Gooden. Wiebe is there. Heavy pressure, and it comes out into the neutral zone. Rory hustles and puts it back into the neutral zone. Girls are chasing after it. Whistle goes both sides. And a good catch by the official. 10:46 to go in the first period. 1:29 remains. in that aces penalty. Best to start. Goes over to Rory, and Rory sends it in. Weeb with it now. She drives into the corner, spins around, fires it up front. Gooden is there, gets her stick on it with a great save by the Extreme goalie. Back into the aces zone. 6 with it now. She tries backhand shot. That goes wide on the right side. Scoop back up by Calgary. And she puts it in the net. Power play goal for Calgary South Extreme, 10-12. Yep. Looks to Hayden Aubuchon as she puts it in. Shucha Kanowski sprang out there, chasing hard. Extreme player goes down, scoop back up by Hanowski. Hanowski goes cross ice to Shuchuk. Stays in the extreme end. Players going down. Hanowski's there, loses the ring. An Extreme gather. Neutral zone to Aubuchon, who sends that up to Isla. Isla with it now. Whistle goes. And that's going to be the Extreme's ring. Quinn Bray and Quinn Elder out on the back end. Charlotte Yip, Dickin, and Matt out there. Whistle goes and we're on our way. Extreme fire deep in the aces zone. Yip is there. She's muscling. Whistle goes. That's going to be aces ring. Alex looks to move the ring. She drops it down for Yip. Yip sends it up in the neutral zone. Matt is there. Scrum. And the Extreme come out with it. They advance it into the aces zone. But Charlotte is there with good backups from QB. As she fires it up, bounces off the Extreme player, and they gain possession. Girls working hard. Get the ring back and fire it up into the Extreme end. Girls go down, and Matt is there. She checks. Bodies flying all over the place. Whistle goes. It's going to be aces ring. 8:25 remains in the first period. 2-0's the score. Teams make a line change. Krenbrink starts with it, goes corner to Weeb, who just can't get her stick on it. Extreme move it up into the neutral zone. Checked by Aubuchon, and that goes just so into the Extreme zone. They move it up, back into the neutral zone, and that's followed up by Rory. She goes down, gets back up quickly, and collects, spins around with pressure from the Extreme. Gooden with it now, puts it up to Weeb. Weeb chases, goes far corner into the Extreme zone. She drop pass for Gooden. Lexi Gooden now tries a shot. That's blocked. Rory is there. Extreme player goes down, but regain and go. Another big goal. Bray fires it in to Spring. Spring circles, goes around the Extreme's net, circles back in front. She's looking. Delay the shot, and a scrum's in the middle. Girls go down, and the whistle goes. Extreme goalie drops it behind the net as the Extreme advance into the neutral zone. Ring gets popped in for 2, who crosses out front, misses wide on the right side. Extreme keep with it as the Ring goes down into the corner. QB is there. High shot. Shot clock goes. And we come back to the Aces. Alex with it. She goes to Yip. Shuchuk, heavy pressure, double coverage. She pushes out of that and advances the Ring up to Spring. Spring is blocked. Ring remains in the neutral zone. Calgary South advance into the Aces zone, and Isla's there. She circles around the Aces net. Double coverage coming, and she goes cross ice to Shuchuk as the Ring just gets out in the neutral zone. Charlotte Yip is there, and the Ring goes deep, followed up by Charlotte. Back to Matt. Matt gets shot on. Save by the Extreme goalie as the Extreme collect and advance the Ring up in the neutral zone. That's turned over and scooped up by Quinn Bray, who is able to get that Ring into the Extreme zone. Possession back. The Extreme, whistle goes. Crease violation. 5:23 to go in the first period. 3-0 for Calgary South Extreme, as the Aces still are looking to get their first point on the board as time winds down. Morgan Matt to start. Goes into the corner for Yip. Yip, back pass. Shot but blocked. Ring goes into the corner. Aces battling hard. Yip comes back up with it. She cuts. Shot. Shot goes on, but a late one there. The Extreme goalie. Extreme come out with it into the neutral zone. Intercepted by Dennis, and Dennis gets that to Yip. Yip tries to go up to Matt. That's turned over. Charlotte blocks that while laying on the ice. Ring comes out in front, scooped up by the Extreme. And Rory's there. Puts that back in. Matt just so misses. And the Extreme go cross ice into the neutral zone, scooped up. Matt with it now. Shot on. The girls are going to need to do something different instead of putting it right at that goalie. The Extreme goalie holds on to it for a whistle. 4:13 remaining in the first period. Line changes happen. Krenbrink will start with it. She goes over to Gooden, and Gooden charges behind the Extreme net, circles and comes out front. She takes a shot, which is easily blocked by the Extreme goalie. Goalie out with it. Intercepted by Aubuchon. Swiped at it from Krenbrink. Heavy traffic right in the middle, and the whistle goes. That's going to be Calgary's Ring. 3:48 remains. Yip and Aubuchon out. Gooden, Weeb and Krenbrink. Gooden's there. She fires it up, and it comes back down and in. Aubuchon scoops that back up, puts it the sideboards to Isla. Isla puts it in a neutral zone, and it's scooped up by the Extreme. Back to Krenbrink. Krenbrink looking to send Weeb. She does. And Weeb makes no mistake. Aces pop their first goal highly anticipated goal this morning, and here we go. Big goal by the Aces as they look to get rolling here. Ring quickly gets dumped back in to the Aces zone. They're pressing hard. Drop past the 17. Calgary swoops around, looks to go behind the net. Drop past a 5. As she circles, drives the front of the net. Ring remains in the crease. And Alex scoops that up and dumps it to Quinn Elder. Quinn Elder goes cross ice, D to D. To Bray, who puts it up in the neutral zone, and that's turned over. Ring bobbling around. Bray back with it now. She sends it to Spring. Spring loses the ring. Goes back in the Aces zone, and Dennis is there. She pops it back in the neutral zone. Lots of back and forth happening. Calgary South, shot on. Big save by Alex. Ring comes back, up the middle. Pushing hard. Ring just so touches the Aces crease. Whistle goes. And Alex dumps that to Shuchuk, who comes up the middle. Sends that in the neutral zone to Yip. Possession back to the Extreme as they just so advance it into the Aces zone. Extreme circle the net. Back out in front. Charlotte Yip is there. Collects and puts it out in the neutral zone for a possible dick, and no one there. Extreme back into the Aces zone. Girls battling. Ring comes back. Shot on. Ring bobbles. And it's a good save by Alex, who holds on to it. 5 seconds. 1:16 remaining in the first period as the Aces change lines. 3-1's the score. Best in beer out there with Gooden, Wiebe, and Krenbrink. Extreme. Outlet pass. Go out around the net. Try to go in the middle. That shot's blocked. Picked up by Rory, who just so loses it. Good check by her as she collects. Goes back behind the net. Turns in circles. Heavy coverage by the Extreme. Krenbrink is there. 52 seconds remaining in the first period. Gooden's there. She's covering as the Extreme hook back around the net and circle out in front. Whistle goes. Interference call. That's going to be an interference call on the Extreme number 6 player. 39 seconds remain in the first period. Aces will go on the power play. A small little chat happening here. The Extreme, Calgary South Extreme coach is not happy as the official gets back in a position, and we will continue. Gooden with it now. Outlet pass to Wiebe, who's blocked up. Ring pops just so out and gets scooped up by Rory, who puts it back in Krenbrink's side. She follows up. Whistle goes. And that'll be Aces ring. 25.8 seconds remain in the first. Wiebe will take it this time. She puts it out to Gooden. And Gooden comes from the sideboard to the middle. She goes around the Extreme's net and scooped back up by Gooden. She's being pressed hard. Tries to circle. Ring gets stripped, but good follow-up by Wiebe. Emily Wiebe is there, gets a small shot on. And the goalie holds on. That's going to be it for the first period. Score 3-1. There will be a power play to start the second period with 1 minute 20 seconds remaining in that Calgary South Extreme penalty. Girls are really going to need to step it up here coming up, as we can't wait too long to make things happen. Once again, another good turnout with fans from both sides. Only a couple more games to go for what we're calling Championship Sunday. "18 minutes goes back up on the board, and we are going to get this second period underway. Yip and Abishon to start with Shuchuk, Hanowski, and Spring. Outlet pass to Hayden, who advances the ring, bounces off Shuchuk's skates and back into the neutral zone. Abishon puts it back in with a good follow-up from Hanowski, who cuts hard and looks for a shot. Drops down, and the ring gets put back out. 2 lines as Abishon's there to collect. Pops that back in the neutral zone. Spring is there. Hanowski sees Isla. Isla stabbing at it. Caught up with the South Calgary player, and the whistle goes. Calgary's goalie dumps it behind the net as the Extreme advance the ring up along the sideboard and the neutral zone. Girls chase after it, comes back to the Aces zone. 33 seconds remain on that Aces power play, and that comes back into the Extreme zone. And she dumps it into the neutral zone. She goes down, and they pop it into the Aces zone. Quickly followed up by Isla, who advances that ring. Up to Molly. Molly looks to go cross ice. Pass is not successful. We got a player down. Extreme players down. She's slow to get back up, but looks to be okay. 16:41 in the second period. 3-1's the score. 2 seconds remain in that Aces power play. And the Aces make a line change. Calgary dump it deep, and that's scooped up by QB, who circles with double coverage into the Aces zone. She comes out with it and puts it into the neutral zone. Charlotte tries to go cross ice. It's blocked, but picked up by Dennis, who swings around and sends out to Dickin. Dickin goes back to Matt, and that's intercepted. Bodies flying everywhere as the whistle goes. 16-14. That ring will come back to the Extreme goaltender, who dumps it behind the net, and Yip is there immediately with help from Dickin, and she comes out with it. Matt is there, and we're going to have a penalty coming to Matt. Delayed penalty. 2-line pass, but the whistle goes. Number 14, Morgan Matt, is going to get a penalty for hooking at 15:55 of the second period. Extreme will go back on the power play. And hopefully the Aces can keep this team at bay. Small conversation happening at the Aces bench. Officials get back into position, and we're about to start here. Extreme outlet pass to 16, who almost gets stripped, but sends it out in the middle. Gooden is there and advances that into the neutral zone, scoop back up. Back in the Aces zone, Gooden's down. Quinn Bray is there. She hits the brakes, doubles back, and advances that to Krenbrink. Krenbrink, small pass to Gooden. Gooden goes in deep, circles the net, head up, looking. She circles around. Shot on. Bray is there. Gooden. Colletts goes to the side of the net, and the goalie's there for the save. Heavy pressure coming from the Aces as the Extreme go back in the neutral zone. They push the ring up in the Aces zone. Cross ice. Shot wide on the left side. And keep possession. Shot wide on the right side. Extreme continue with the ring. As Alex is there and dumps it to the side. Ring gets put up. Up to Shuchuk, who goes cross ice to Rory. Rory makes a pass. It's intercepted by 18 from the Extreme as they go up into the Aces zone. Go cross ice. Rory's there, drops her stick with a good block. Extreme still have it as 18 looks to cut to the middle. She spins, fires, and it goes wide on the left side. 11 with it now. She's knocked down, and a penalty coming to the Aces. Body contact. Aces will go back in the sin bin. 13:49 remains. Second period, 3-1's the score. Calgary South Extreme go back on the power play. Shucha Kanowski will be out there. With Best. Ring goes cross ice, scooped up by 5 from the Extreme. She tips down. Penalty coming up. It's going to be a tripping call. Looks to be to number 5 on the Extreme. Tripping's the call. Whistle blows. And 2 minutes will go back up on the board for the Extreme. 4-on-4 will happen for 1:41. Molly puts that in to Charlotte. Charlotte goes cross ice and around the net in the Extreme zone. She goes to her sister, Isla, with a shot. Good save. Spin, and Molly has a look. Save again by the Extreme goaltender. She launches a high one to the sideboard with good coverage by the Aces. Charlotte's there, and the ring gets dumped through the neutral zone into the Aces end. Aubuchon scoops that up. Goes to Isla. Isla sends that to Molly. Molly advances to Charlotte. Charlotte goes cross ice to a potential Isla Yip, who just so misses it. She collects and circles around the front of the net. She goes back to Charlotte Yip, and it's just missed, collected back up by Charlotte. She's battling. She goes down. Double coverage, and the whistle goes. 12:28 remains in the second period. 39 seconds left in that Aces penalty. 4-on-4 gameplay continues. Heavy slash happens, and the Extreme are yelling for a penalty, and it looks like they're going to get one. officials come back over to the penalty box. It appears like they were putting the penalty on the wrong side of the scoreboard. That's correct. That was an Aces penalty for slashing. Aces are in trouble here now as it's 5-on-3, and Extreme go back and forth with a big save by Alex. Extreme continue to cycle around. Another shot on, saved by Alex. 5 seconds to go till we get back on. Shot on. We got an Aces player down. Aces coach comes back out. I can't see which Aces player is down. Hopefully she's okay. 11:45 remain in the second period. A minute 29 remains in the Aces penalty. 14 seconds remains in the Extreme penalty. So in short order here, the Extreme will be back on the power play. Looks like the Aces player is able to get back up off the ice. Charlie Best was the player that was down. Hopefully she's okay. Extreme to start with the ring. Number 2 goes outlet to 18 as she circles around the back of the Aces net. Cuts to the middle and shot on. Alex is there with the big save. Penalty expires for the Extreme. And power play for the Extreme will now continue for a minute 3. As the Aces go right in front of their own net. Shot on, and Alex is there. Thank goodness. Alex launches that out deep. Big crash in the side boards. QB is there as she pushes hard to get that ring out. As she feeds Weeb. Weeb with it now. Circles back around. She shoots, it's blocked. She shoots again, rebound. Emily now goes from the sideboard, cuts to the middle, looking for a shot. She does. And big rebound as again a follow-up by Emily Weeb. Good shift by her. And the Extreme are able to get it back into the neutral zone. Quinn Bray is there. Sends that back up to Gooden. With pressure, she shoots and it goes wide on the right side. Whistle goes, as that was a crease violation. Aces ring, 5 seconds to go in that Aces penalty. 10:21 remains in the second period. Time's running down as the Aces need to get going here. Dickin, outlet pass to Morgan. Morgan drives, she goes down on her knees, takes a shot, just misses the net. As Isla's there, scoops that back up. She has double coverage and the whistle goes. Heavy pushing in front of the net here as both sides are going for it. Ring gets dumped behind the net. A trip happens. And the officials let that keep going. Whistle goes along the sideboard. 9:55 remain. Back to even strength. Extreme goalie sends it right out in front as that ring enters into the neutral zone. Heavy battle happening as that ring goes to the Aces zone. Rory Beer collects the ring and sends that up. The ring bounces off the skates and stays in the aces zone. Extreme player cuts corner and passes deep. And that ring, big crash in the far corner. Delayed penalty coming as that ring advances up to Matt. Matt's not able to get there. Whistle goes, and we're going to have a body contact call made to the South Calgary Extreme. Aces will be going on another power play here. 9:11 remains in the second period. Score 3-1. Spring, Shuchuk, Hanowski. Charlie and Rory out in the back end. Whistle goes. Spring feeds it out the corner. Shuchuk gets her own rebound as she circles around. Cuts around, drops the pass for Spring. Spring's there. She sees Hanowski. Hanowski shot on, blocked, and rebound pops out into the side board. Good follow-up by the girls. Heavy pressure, whistle goes. And that will remain the Aces ring. 1:34 still to go in that Aces power play. Hanowski skips that ring back out to Charlie Best. Best drives with a shot on. That's blocked by the Extreme goalie. Followed up. Whistle goes. And that's going to be Calgary South's ring. .8:35 remaining. Extreme look to put that into the Aces zone, and they do. Girls circle, and that's intercepted. Passed out, Rory Bear gets that up to Hanowski, who just so misses that. Back into the Aces zone. Whistle blows, a little bit of body contact again. We got ourselves a pretty good aggressive game here. Alex dumps that into the corner, and that's advanced up to Gooden. Gooden with it now. Gets it up to Molly. Spinorama. Molly looks to shoot. Ring partially deflects and a shot on. Ring is missed. Krenbrink with it now. Spins. Not able to get it. Gooden chasing on the sideboard. Does the ring get out? Not sure, but the whistle goes. 21 seconds remain on this Aces power play. 7:33 to go. Aces are going to have to capitalize here quickly. Krenbrink outlet pass to Gooden as Gooden slowly approaches and circles the back of the Extreme net. She cuts out in front. Shot deflected and misses wide. Scoop back up by Emily Weeb. Emily puts it out in front. Krenbrink's there. Gooden's there. Krenbrink back with it. She hits the brakes. Launches a high shot. That goes over the net. Battle in the corner. Gets popped back out in the middle. And the Extreme try to get that out. It stays back in the Extreme zone. Back in the neutral zone. Turnover. Dennis is there. She sends that ring to 77. Gooden. Gooden, shot on. Ring is still sitting as Krenbrink is digging. She gets hauled down. Tripping call is going to come to Krenbrink as the officials seen that one out in front of the net. Quinn Bray is there to stop the play. And number 44 for the Aces, Krenbrink, will get that tripping call. As blood pressures continue to elevate, 6:27 remains in the second period. 2 minutes up on the board for that penalty. Extreme outlet pass on the sideboard. Extreme 18 presses hard and circles around the backside of the Aces net. She goes for another lap. 8 seconds on the shot clock. She scoops around the front of the net. Shot clock resets, and the Extreme continue with possession. Cross ice pass to the number 2 on the Extreme. She partially gets stripped with it, but holds on. Isla's there, it bumps the ring away and advances it over the ring, and that's 2 sides. Ring will go back to South Calgary. Line changes happen. A minute 12 is what's left on this Extreme power play. Heavy pressure out in front of the net. Ring pops up and out into the neutral zone. Gets popped back in. Shewchuk's there. She scoops it up and has double coverage and goes cross ice to Rory, who's able to get that in the neutral zone. Whistle goes. And that's going to be Calgary's ring. 5:11 remain with 43 seconds to go yet on this Krenbrink penalty. Extreme 5-on-4. Get the ring and try dump it out in front. They keep the ring and circle around, go to the far side and go behind the net. Back out in front. That's stripped. Shewchuk just so advances that ring up to Rory, who battles for it. Support is there. And the Extreme are able to put it in. The Aces zone shot goes wide, and Shewchuk is there. She spins, goes cross ice to Best, who advances the ring to Dickin. Dickin gets stripped of the ring as the Extreme are hanging in the neutral zone and just so advance into the Aces zone. 22 with it, goes down but holds the ring. That gets stripped. Shewchuk with it, puts it up to Dickin, who misses the pass but recollects, goes back into the Extreme's end, and they're able to get it back out. Extreme get it back in the Aces zone as QB turns on the Jets and gets it up in the neutral zone. Girls are having a little bit of problem stabbing the ring here, as once again that ring goes back into the Aces zone. 3:37 remain in the second period, and our score here is 3-1. Aces need to cash in now. Big collision up front. Ring into the neutral zone. Big crash into the boards. Shot on. That was Dennis, who seemed to be slow to get up, but she's back into play. Alex will hold on to it. 3:04 remain. Timeout happens, most likely for the Aces, as the girls are going to have a quick discussion on what needs to happen here, or they will quite possibly be hopping on a bus if they don't adjust quick here. Timeout, horn goes. And both teams have their last few shots here as we're looking to get the end of this second period back underway. Extreme are going to have the ring as they go outlet sideboard pass to 18, who cuts back along the sideboards, goes pass out front to two circles. Good coverage by the Aces as they keep the Extreme to the outside. Extreme go behind the net, try to dump it out in front, but that's blocked. Whistle goes, 2:32 remain. Alex looks to dump this ring, and she does. Quinn Bray with it now. She tries to put it up to Matt, but she's not able. Charlotte Yip with it now. Let's go, girls. Krenbrink, she goes down. Ring gets picked back up by the Extreme to advance it into the neutral zone, and 18 dumps it down in the far corner. Minute 54 to go. Aubuchon with it now. She spins and puts that up to Yip. Yip looks to go to Matt, who gains the ring. She spins, bumps, and goes! Backhand shot with a minute 38 to go, and the Aces get one. Big goal by the Aces with 1:36 remaining. The girls need one more here as the Aces approach up into the neutral zone, back in the Extreme zone. Aubuchon, she's pushing hard. She circles the back of the net, cuts around the middle. Heavy coverage. Small shot on with a minute 10 to go. Spring follows into the neutral zone as the Extreme are able to get it in to the Aces zone. Shuchuk's there. She quickly puts that up to Hanowski. Hanowski pops that up to Shuchuk as she comes down the far boards, keeps her feet moving, and battles. Excellent follow-up by the girls as somehow the Extreme get that ring out of their zone. Shot on, 35 seconds to go. Rory with it now, looking to advance it up. That ring sits, remains in the Aces zone. Folks, the Extreme are able to pop another one. 4-2, 19 seconds to go. Yip with it now. Goes cross ice to Bray. 5 seconds remain, second period. That's going to be the game. Thanks to everyone for watching.